I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how to introduce this streamer that we're going to be talking about today. If I had to use one word to describe him, it would be unhinged. This guy seems to have taken it upon himself to deliver righteous justice to the entire survivor community of Dead by Daylight. And why, you may ask? Simply for existing, apparently. And I don't really want to say much more about it, so let's just get into it. But before we do, of course, please do leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below to let me know what you think of this guy's behavior, and if you have another streamer who you want me to check out. And please do subscribe if you haven't already to help me hit my 5K goal before the end of this year. We're super close, and thank you to everybody who's already subscribed. Let's get into the video. So before we even look at the footage, I just want to show you 3 screenshots that is just going to showcase to you exactly what we are going to be dealing with today. So what this guy likes to do is he likes to put little messages in the top left-hand corner of his stream, presumably because he gets a lot of people who come in and give him salt, which we're going to talk about later. And I just wanted to show you what they were. Okay, so the first one says, "The killer isn't interested in what survivors think is fair." Yeah, true. To be fair, you know, a killer doesn't have to play fair for the survivors, just like the survivors don't have to play fair for the killer. It's not on one side to make sure the other side is having fun. That's not their job. Second one, "Camping and tunneling are what keeps the survivor herd lean. It's only the lame of the pack that end up on the hook." Okay, that's a little bit weird. Don't fully understand where you're going with that one, but, you know, that is fine. And then the third one, "Face camping Bubba, helping remind the survivor community who is in charge, the killer." Oh, yeah. So that's what we're going to be dealing with today. Now, the first thing I want to show you is a little interaction that he had with somebody who he played a game against. And I want to show you the interaction at the end first. So this person has been killed by him in a game and then comes into his chat. So here we go. Let's see what happened. So the person comes into his chat and puts, "What is your problem?"
Hey dude, listen, you're a cocky bastard. You are being so fucking cocky.
Now, have a think about what you think this person did. Just have a think. And then I'm going to show you. And I guarantee it will not be anywhere near what you think it is. Did you see it? Did you see why he was a cocky bastard? He used sprint burst. That was it. And this streamer's reaction is bonkers. Check it out.
So problem is, yes, you were being a cocky little bastard with your sprint burst, like, "Oh, I'm exposed, am I? Ho ho ho, come and catch me, killer. Haha, sprint burst. See you later, fucko." That was your plan. You were being a cocky little bastard. You were walking right in front of the hook
to get the save,
holding your sprint burst, just waiting for me to fucking go for it. Yeah, you were, dude. Show killers the respect they deserve.
And there is the first instance of what makes this guy so fucking unhinged to me, right? He says that the guy was holding his sprint burst basically as a way to almost rub it in the killer's face that he had sprint burst. But let's talk about what actually happened at the hook. The guy was walking over to get the unhook, heard the terror radius in the area, so probably didn't want to leave scratch marks next to the hook to let the killer know what he was about to do. And then when he saw that the killer was creeping up behind him and about to bash him on the head, he used his sprint burst to get away. Why is that wrong? Why is that cocky? And then he says, "Show killers the respect they deserve." And this is what I mean. I wasn't kidding when I said that this guy is on a mission to deliver the righteous justice to the survivor community. He genuinely thinks that killer mains are somehow above survivor mains, that the killer community is somehow superior to the survivor community. I don't know who hurt him in the past. I don't know what survivor main clicked at him way too much. I don't know what bully squad made him cry in the corner, but someone really hurt this guy, and he is now on a mission to make sure everybody knows about it. Now, one thing that this guy seems to hate more than just the regular survivors are TTV survivors. He has a particular joy that he expresses when he finds a TTV in his lobby, and I'm just going to show you an instance of that now.
Oh, we've got a TTV Leon. You know how I like a delicious Leon. Num 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 num. Right, let's just go for the Leon and tunnel him.
Just because he's a TTV. So he has his stream open in the background, you can hear it.
No, I'm 100% going to stream snipe the guy because I want to know where the fuck he is. So, no hate, please.
Announces that he's going to be stream sniping, announces that he's going to be tunneling him, and then says, "No hate, please." No, that's not how it works. And he does, in fact, use, as you can see in this little clip, the TTV's screen footage live stream to go and find him straight away off the hook. So he then proceeds to camp him, as you can see here, and he also switches back and forth between the game and his stream. That's why the game kind of goes quiet for a second. It's because he tabs out of the game. And he just hits him on the hook for a little bit.
Dirty bastard survivor getting what he deserves. Loving it.
What did he do? What did he do? He loaded into the game. Before he had even loaded into the game, you had already set him as a target, and you're saying he got what he deserved? What do you mean? Why are you so mad at survivors? Yeah. But he continues to face camp him, and it gets to the point where this TTV goes into second phase, realizes that he's not really going to be saved, and there's no point in him waiting in the match, and so just lets himself die. Now, for the rest of the match, after this TTV has died, this streamer is constantly going back into his stream. Now, I want to show you this streamer's reaction to the whole situation, because it is the epitome of just looking for things to be mad about, things that don't even make sense.
Man, this fucking guy never even fucking stayed to do his time on the hook, man. What a fucking piece of shit.
What?
Hate that.
He deadass, as a killer, got mad because the survivor let himself die too quickly. What? He was literally in his stream watching this guy, waiting for him to get annoyed at the fact that he got face cam. But you know what? This streamer, mad props to him, by the way, his link will be in the description because he's an absolute sweetheart, didn't care. He was just like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to move on to the next game then. He had such a good reaction to it. And this guy couldn't handle that. And he had to just make something up about why he should show this guy hate. He actually then goes into this guy's chat while the game is still going, by the way. He has someone on the hook and goes into his chat to deliver a message and says to the amount of GG, I was the Bubba, and asks him why he let himself die to the detriment of his fellow survivors. And the TTV has this response.
Bro, that was my first game one, and you're camping Bubba. I ain't staying in that game. That was not fun at all. You can play how you want, but I'm not playing in that.
Which I think is absolutely fair. He didn't show hate to this streamer. He didn't say fuck you. He didn't say anything of what he could have done. He just said, yeah, I didn't want to deal with that game. It wasn't fun for me. So I moved on. But that's not good enough for this streamer. No, no, no.
Oh, fucking, did you hear that fucking survivor guy? I asked the guy, like, why did he leave? And he was like, oh, because it wasn't fun. Like, it's the amount of games is killer, which I could have just abandoned straight away because it wasn't fun. You're against a bully squad. So toxic, man, so toxic.
So toxic because he wanted to go and have fun. Is there logic there? Is there actually logic there? We also need to address the fact that he twists the words, okay? The survivor didn't leave, okay? The survivor didn't DC, the survivor didn't just rage quit. The survivor went through his whole first stage, realized that this Bubba was going to camp him until he died, so just let it happen quicker, okay? And this guy compares it to coming up against a bully squad. I feel like it's very different being face camped on a hook and letting yourself die quickly because you want to just move on to the next game versus DCing as a killer because you're up against a bully squad. And the fact that he calls it toxic. I think someone needs to buy a dictionary for this man and teach him what toxicity actually is. But the funniest thing to me about this whole interaction is that you can just tell that this streamer is seething that the TTV didn't react in the way that he expected him to. He didn't react with rage. He didn't react with anger. He didn't even care. He just moved on to the next game. And he was very honest about the fact when he asked him in the chat, he was just like, yeah, I don't want to play that game. I'm moving on. And this guy is fuming and has to make up this whole bullshit reason about why he thinks that this guy is in the wrong because he let himself die on hook, which as a killer main, surely is better for you. And like I said, the TTV's name is going to be in the description. And I would highly recommend going and checking him out. He's got really chill vibes, really nice guy. Go and check him out. So there's an example of a TTV who doesn't give him the reaction that he wants. But what happens when this streamer does get the reaction that he wants? What happens when somebody fights back? Well, he came up against another couple of TTVs. These guys I'm going to blur. I'm not going to say who they are just because I haven't reached out to them. But I do want to show you this interaction, and I do want to show you what happens in the end game in particular because it gets pretty crazy, to be honest. I'm going to show you. We're going to talk about it, the usual. Let's get on with it. So you'll notice immediately what he does is he goes straight into the chat, puts GG, easy, 2K. Before he even sees what they've put. Now, he does that frequently. He always puts GG, easy in the chat. He loves doing it. Monitor and abuse replies GG, easy, get good. He replies with, dude, someone had to save you, Meg. You had to rely on others for you to live. Yeah, it's kind of how the game works. If you're hooked, you need to be unhooked. That's how it works. He then puts toxic survivors are toxic when they haven't really done anything. They just replied to his energy. You started it, man. You can't get mad. One of the TTVs then puts, you camped the hook. And he puts, yeah, I did. Because I dictate the gameplay. You rat survivor. Remember your place. Remember your place. He dead ass, in all seriousness, puts remember your place in the endgame chat. I don't think this guy is an actual person. I think he's fake. Somebody has set him up as a trap for me to find and make a video about. And it's going to be a whole prank situation where they're going to be like, ah, you fell for it, because there is no way this guy can be real. There is no way someone dead ass, 100% seriousness puts know your place in an endgame chat in that context. He then goes on to say, whatever your hours are in the game, divide it by 4. My game time is chase time. Your game time is repairing generators 75% of the time. Boring XD. First of all, why are you just making up statistics? But I can do the exact same thing because you're chatting shit. Your game time is not chasing. I would say 24.6% of your game time is chasing. The rest of it is spent staring at survivors on the hook. I don't think that's more entertaining, personally, than watching somebody on a gen. At least with a gen, there's skill checks. Keeps it a little bit fresh.
You've got to love the cheekiness get good after they have to be rescued from the hook because they got downed. They were essentially on death's door until somebody else came in, you know, to intervene and save them.
That's how the game works. You get downed, you get hooked, you get unhooked. That doesn't mean you're a bad survivor. That's how the game works. So following this lovely endgame interaction, this guy then goes and checks out the TTV stream, as he always does, and finds out that he is from Liverpool. And for some reason has a lot to say about that, as I'll let him show you.
Sounds like they're from Liverpool. That makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Do people in Liverpool play Dead by Daylight a lot? Is that a common stereotype?
Spent half the time doing gens, half the time robbing cars. Robbing fucking cars.
Oh. We're going down that route, are we? Okay. I don't know why he brings it in and acts like everybody in Liverpool spends 50% of their days on generators in Dead by Daylight and then 50% of their days stealing cars. Yeah, that's a real common Liverpool stereotype that I hear, actually. Yeah, it's yeah. Someone then comes into his chat, presumably from the other place, and says, "Eat shit, dickhead."
You fucking what? You're gonna cook some chicken? Some chicken?
That's a real good comeback, bud. You're gonna cook some chicken. You know what? When someone tells me to eat shit, I also say you're gonna cook some chicken. I think we also have to talk about the absolute hilarious irony of this Scottish man sitting here and taking the piss out of typical Scouse traits, you know, being very stereotypical and trying to use it as insults. And then having the Freedom sound clip from Braveheart playing as a follower alert. The irony, I feel like he wouldn't know it if it slapped him in the face.
Catherine, are you from Liverpool? Is it true you guys are frightened of purple Aki? Is purple Aki going to touch your muscles? Is that how it works down there? Even the Scottish know of the purple Aki.
Now, I had to look this up because I didn't know what purple Aki was, but I was curious. The name Purple Aki is a name for someone who has been categorized as a nonce, which, by the way, is a British slang word for a paedophile. The trigger warning, we're going to talk about some of these topics in brief detail. But Purple Aki in particular refers to one guy who was, he became infamous in the northwest of England for inappropriately approaching and touching young men. That's what he's referring to. So he's first of all making a joke about a paedophile in regards to Liverpool, which is a bit weird. And also the name Purple Aki actually has some racist connotations because the person it's talking about was actually black, which is what the purple refers to. So not only is this guy insulting Liverpool with a reference to a paedophile and how the paedophile is going to get them, but he's also using a racist connotation name. So that's good. We've stepped into that territory. Isn't that nice? But it's not over there. He says more.
You can always trust a Scouser to rob you blind.
Great. Nice little
Scousers
stereotype.
are like, you know, like second-class Geordies.
Second
I
class
mean, Geordies have got a funny
Geordies.
accent, but at least they're, you know, brand new people.
Now you're insulting the
These
Geordies.
Liverpudlians, always out, they're always looking for your scrap metal. Any scrap metal, mate?
The fuck?
I'm actually just having a fucking, you know, I have nothing against the people from Liverpool at all.
Ah, yeah, you're really convincing me of that one. You've got nothing against the people of Liverpool. You've just sat for a good 5-10 minutes throwing every insult under the sun at them. Sure. So when I was watching all of this, the one thing I kept thinking was, why does he hate survivors so much? But somebody actually came into his chat after a game, after they had been camped and the whole usual spiel had gone down, and they spoke to him about it. And I thought it was a really interesting little interaction, which I wanted to show you guys. So again, before anyone said anything, GG Easy 2K. Now the other person did put go outside, but he didn't see that before he put the GG Easy, so they kind of matched their energies. But the person comes into his chat and says, wasn't that extremely boring for you?
Oh, dude, I love it. The thing is, right, you dirty bastard survivors
Again, dirty
choose
bastard.
to do the generators. You could come and try and save them. They would try and get a bit of an escape going, but you'd rather just do the gens.
Because it makes sense against a face camping Bubba. That's the smart thing to do, is do your gens, get out, move on to the next game.
No, I never get tired of putting you guys in your place.
Again, with this place thing.
Remember, my gameplay is downing survivors, putting them on a hook and killing them. Your gameplay is doing a gen and getting out. So, you know,
Yes.
who's having the more fun?
Probably them. You don't sound like you're having fun. You sound very angry.
Yeah, sure, killer main while playing survivor. I believe you, mate. I believe you.
He does know you can play both sides, right? Like, he does know that when you load up the game, it gives you an option to play as killer or survivor. I don't think he does. Someone better tell him. Maybe that's what he needs. Maybe he needs to play as survivor a little bit. Maybe that'll calm him down.
Okay, dude, whatever. I mean, like, you know, just because you're called something, I mean, I could call myself the best lover in the world. And even though in that case it is true, it might not be true. I mean, you know, the thing about the Bubba campers that people complain about is they say the way you play against the Bubba is you just do gens. But you're going to walk away with no points doing that. I mean, you're probably better getting a chase and trying to go for a save. You'll probably get more points.
What? So his logic against the idea of doing gens when you're against face camping Bubba, which by the way is good advice. It's the advice I give to everybody, is to come and take the chase. Right, because you're definitely going to get more points while you're being face camped than if you were to go and do gens and then escape. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Somebody from the game he literally just played is in his chat and actually calls him out and says, yeah, but you walked away with no points. Which is true. As Basement Bubba, you don't really play for points. You play for the sheer thrill of it, I guess, and you know, to have a little bit of a meme time. But this is his response to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about points. I'm here for the punishment.
Punishment?
I mean, this guy here, for example, Banjo, he might think he's going to have a great game, some good chases, but he's going to get downed and he's going on a hook.
He's literally saying he goes out of his way to ruin the games for survivors. From what I've seen from this guy's stream so far, I've come away with the conclusion that he genuinely thinks he is on some sort of glorious crusade, and that he has genuinely taken it upon his own shoulders, as if given to him from a higher power, to teach the survivor community a lesson, to teach them that the killers are better, that the killer community is actually superior. Now, I'm just going to say it straight up. I'm going to be very brutally honest here. You're not on a glorious crusade, my guy. You're just a fucking bully. You may think that you are this William Wallace type hero who is saving the world from the scourge of the survivor community, but in actuality, you are no better than the playground bullies that you find in every single schoolyard across the world. You are literally a sad little man sat behind his keyboard and mouse trying to dish out shit just because you seem to get some sort of joy about making others feel bad. You seem to get joy in seeing other people in pain or frustration or getting annoyed, and that just makes you a bully. And this journey that you seem to be on, this point you're trying to make, this isn't real life. Okay, man? This is a video game. This is pixels on a screen. Okay? So pathetic. It's so pathetic. And I know this video is already very long, so I'm only going to show you one more thing, but I feel like it just sums up everything that this guy has in terms of an attitude towards this game. So this is in an endgame chat. No one has said anything to him, and this is after he got a 4K through his camping playstyle. He put GG easy. Welcome to Trump's America. AKA Behavior's latest update. Behavior rewarded my camping playstyle. My man compares the most recent update in Dead by Daylight to Trump's America, and then actually insinuates that it's a good thing and that he has been rewarded. Cool, man. I don't think I have any more words to say for this person, so we're going to end it here. Please don't be like this. Please don't be this type of person. Honestly, I normally end these videos by saying if you know someone like this, or if you are like this, then change your behavior. But I cannot for 1 second believe that there are actually two versions of this person in the world. This guy is a fucking caricature. I don't think there are multiple people like him, but on the off chance that you are like this person, please stop. Just uninstall the game, go and do something else, go and touch some grass. You need to go and talk to somebody. You know, I like looking at pictures of cats when I'm upset, when I'm angry, and I feel like the world needs to take a punch or something. I look at cute pictures of cats. Maybe try that. But that will do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please let me know what you think down below. And yeah, if you ever come across this person, report him. Don't give him the attention he wants. Again, I've blurred his name and everything on this because honestly, this one isn't even about stopping him getting hate. This is actually just about starving him of the attention that he so clearly wants. This guy wants you to come into his stream and tell him what an asshole he is. He wants it. He craves it. Don't give it to him. If you know who this is, if you ever come up against him, ignore him, report him, and move on. That is the best way that you can annoy this guy. I promise. But in the meantime, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay awesome. Bye for now.
So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. I'm taking that crown from you.